Alex, you ready?
Ready.
Let's roll, nerds. Lyra's first.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I greatly appreciate
Are
it.
you also on the co-defendants? Just Ms. Lyra? Okay. Vanegas.
Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Speak up publicly.
Christian Vanegas.
Oh, Judge, she's running late. I'm on call.
Okay. Are you or James Lyra? Mr. Lyra, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 13th, 2025, at approximately 12:51 a.m., the officer on viewed two vehicles at the block of Tomball Parkway, blocking the moving lane of traffic. The officer observed a white Jeep and an orange Corvette line up directly next to each other side by side, and the vehicles accelerated at the same time at a high rate of speed. The traffic stop was initiated of the white Jeep, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, who gave his name and was identified by his Texas driver's license. The other officer stopped the Corvette and detained the second defendant. The driver was positively ID'd by the Texas driver's license.
Do you know how fast they were going?
Your Honor, they do not specify in the DIMS.
Okay. Mr. Lyra, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Have you run his license, see if he has it?
Eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in this kind of behavior again. If I see that you do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. The next thing I'm doing, I will take your privilege to drive away from you permanently. Do you understand while this case is over?
Yes, sir.
Open. The ability to not drive in Houston blows. Trust me. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, you have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Clay, and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. I'm going to waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with him, and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. You pick up a new case, you endanger my public. I only have one place for you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm going to have you sign a receipt of Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go.
Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All right, Judge, next is page 16, Johnson, Donald, come on up.
Come on, sir.
So where'd you go? Alex? If you can do the, all those.
Usual no racing.
usual-
Yes, Judge.
Give me your last name again, sir? What was the last name? Johnson? Thank you. Donald Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 17th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to the theft of a motor vehicle at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant, who advised that his truck was stolen off the property at 12:42 p.m., and the complainant showed officers clear footage of the theft, where the officer observed 3 white males exiting a motor vehicle, one suspect going under the hood of the complainant's vehicle and getting in the passenger seat, and another suspect drive the motor vehicle off the property. The officer got the suspect's motor vehicle's license plates, ran that license plate through Lens, and got an address. When the officer arrived at that address, he observed the motor vehicle used to commit the theft in the driveway and knocked on the door and met with all parties inside the home. All subjects matched the subjects on surveillance, and the defendant had the same clothes as in the footage. The second defendant admitted to driving the motor vehicle and showed where he dumped the vehicle, and the complainant's vehicle was recovered. The first defendant, Mr. Johnson, admitted to helping the second defendant steal the motor vehicle.
You're telling me that they allegedly stole a car.
Yes, Judge.
He's charged with a misdemeanor theft, Class B.
Yes, Judge.
What is the value of the car?
According to the DIMS, the complainant advised the value was $600.
Does he make a statement that he knows the car stolen?
He makes a statement that he admitted to help steal the vehicle.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. We do have co-defendants in this case, do we not?
Yes, Judge.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the co-defendants in this case and not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. You pick up a new case, you endanger my community, I'm going to revoke your bond, I'm going to put you in jail, and I'm going to make it extremely high. Do you understand, Mr. Johnson?
I do understand.
What do you do for a living, sir? How do you support yourself?
Sir,
How do you support yourself?
I'm trying to get disability right now, sir.
All right, I'll help you fill out an application. Do you mind giving me an application? Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, otherwise
Yes,
I will
sir.
issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to give you an application. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir.
And
Right this way. All right, Judge.
So
next
can you
is
file all those
page
conditions,
16.
please?
No contact with co-defendant and complainant, and was there anything else?
Yeah, no law violations and
Yes, Judge.
Right
Mhm.
this way.
no weapons.
Yes, Judge.
Glad it's like the consent. Judge, this next one is on page 16, bottom of 16.
Okay,
So the DWI landed in court 3. Go ahead and have a seat in the jury box. Here you go.
here's a.
Landed in court 3, so they should be transferring it. On docket today is the assault family.
where's Mr. Jones? James Jones, come up.
Oh,
Do you have an arraignment? I'd like to help the lawyers. Vic, can we help the lawyers first so we can get them out?
Oh, I didn't know they were for arraignments.
Yeah. Guys, if you have an arraignment, let me know. Let Victoria know so we can get you out of here.
yes, you're right. Maybe my line.
Take a seat for me in the jury box, sir. I'd like to, can we get the case transferred so we can, yeah. And then if you want to go ahead and appoint someone for him as well, Vic, please.
Do you want to go ahead and with counsel?
Yeah.
Okay.
With everyone. Mark,
Page 5.
Yep.
State interpreter, Judge.
oh,
Yeah, wait a
okay.
minute. Page 5, Taboya, come on up.
Do you have an arraignment today?
So,
Do you have an arraignment today?
no,
Okay.
I have, well, I think I have a person on the docket because they had a violation on the.
Okay.
I just heard about it. She's from California, so I don't know if she's there.
Yeah.
Just, I'll circle back.
You are Ivan Shagoya?
Sir.
Mr. Shagoya, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the gun case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 18th, 2025, at approximately 4:30 a.m., the officer observed the vehicle fail to stop at a red light at the East Texas Freeway on Harris County, Texas. The vehicle would have struck the officer's patrol vehicle had the officer not come to a stop. A traffic stop was then initiated and the vehicle continued to drive 0.5 miles before stopping. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant, and observed an odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6. The officer did not conduct walk and turn and one-leg stand due to safety concerns and the nearby sidewalk not being level. The officer observed a Glock 9mm in plain view from the front passenger window located on the passenger floorboard near the center console, and a PC search was then conducted. A second loaded firearm was found in the center console, and the defendant was then read the DIC and refused. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Mr. Shagoya, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Have you run his license?
It is eligible, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. If I find that you're consuming, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons as well, sir. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you or you've taken off and you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond. Have you looked to see if he has any prior DWIs, Alex? Please.
He has, one moment, Your Honor. No priors.
Okay. All right. So for now, I'll have you sign a reset. Victoria will get you with Felicia for your bond conditions. And after that, you'll be free to go, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, guys.
Excuse me.
Please.
All right, the next is page 17. Steve, come on up.
Good morning, Ms. Keys. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On January 18th, 2025, the officer observed a vehicle failing to drive in a single lane on West Grand Parkway in Harris County, Texas. The defendant was swerving in and out of 2 lanes and came close to crashing into another vehicle in the next lane. A traffic stop was conducted, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer observed disorientation, a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, and slurred speech. The defendant could not provide ID or insurance, and the officer observed an open container of alcohol on the floorboard next to her feet. The defendant stated she had not consumed alcohol, and the officer observed slow movements and unsteadiness on her feet. Standard filter brightings were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, 1-minute stand 2 out of 4. The defendant was read the DIC and consented to breath. The results were .290 and .294.
So are you telling me that she had alcohol in the car while she's driving?
There was an open container on the floorboards.
Did you put any other indicators like it's cold? Or
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Keys, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Do you understand, ma'am? I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, ma'am. No more PR bonds. Have you run your license, Alex?
I'll run it right now, Your Honor.
Please. And any prior DBAs?
There are no priors, but there is a pending one out of Austin County, it appears.
She has a pending DWI in Austin County?
Yes, Judge.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me that you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing every single time you drive. It's an offense in and of itself, punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every single time. I am now going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know that you're not consuming, and I'm also giving you a curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. On your other ankle, you're going to get a GPS monitor. Stop. I don't want you to talk about the case. I can provide you a lawyer today, but if they're telling me that you have an open DWI and now you picked up another one, I have a big problem with that. To provide you a lawyer today, ma'am, if you would like, a court-appointed lawyer. Did you want a court-appointed lawyer? I will provide you a lawyer today. Ms. Keys, if you have a problem with alcohol, I'm giving you the opportunity now to address it on your own. If you do not, I'm going to do it for you, and I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all cost. Every single day, someone dies from a DWI in our county. I need you to fill out an application for me, or you know what? Hold on a second, maybe not. Vic, I have an application on file already. So if you just want to appoint her a lawyer, I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. You will meet with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, we'll have you take your seat while I'm your lawyer, ma'am. I'm going to have you sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions. After that, I'll have you take a seat while I find your lawyer. Please.
No driving affidavit?
Oh, yeah, no driving affidavit. Right.
State Marquez, York.
So Alex, on every DWI, I need you to run the NCIC
Yes, Judge.
going on with every single person because you,
Yes, Judge.
no, it's, Vic, what page?
Page 18, Marquez.
Good morning, Mr. Marquez. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 17th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to an assault. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated she and the defendant have been in a dating relationship for 11 months. The complainant then stated the defendant had been continuously assaulting her, and she showed surveillance video of the incident to the officers. The officers observed the defendant grab the complainant by the hair and strike her several times in the face with a boxing glove. The officer also observed the defendant get on top of the complainant and pin her down, striking her in the face, and the complainant advised she felt pain from all the strikes. The officer observed the complainant to have visible abrasions on her left shoulder and bicep, along with redness on her face.
He just had an assault that was dismissed in October of this past year.
Yes,
Is this the same complaining
Same
witness?
complainant,
Okay. Mr. Marquez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. I'm issuing what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection, which is a court order that identifies Ms. Rubio as a protected individual. You're not to commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code. Is this a stalking statute? You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of the Melbourne Street place. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I want you to understand that I'm going to protect every single person in this county by all means necessary. You endanger my public, it's not going to go well for you. Felicia, I want to make sure that he's not consuming alcohol or drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, make your bond very high. Do you understand?
Yep, Judge, the milk was signed last Friday.
Okay. So it looks like a protective order has been issued. I would get to know it because if you violate this protective order, the state can and will file a violation protective order. That is the capital murder of misdemeanors. Do you understand, sir?
Sure, also did order a GPS device that was,
Yep.
installed prior.
I'm okay with that.
I have it on, sir.
Did you want do you need a lawyer, sir? Okay, so you don't want a court-appointed lawyer then? Okay, I'm going to have you sign a reset. After that, we'll get with Felicia for your bond condition. After that, you're free to go. Don't violate these conditions, Mr. Marquez. It's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? Okay, come on.
Your Honor, no contact, no weapons.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, Judge.
He's going to be monitored for the alcohol and dope.
Yes, Judge.
For Marquez,
PHA?
CHA, and pretrial bond condition.
Yep.
Judge, on the magistrate conditions as well, there's another, address listed. There's two addresses listed. Do we want to keep both of them, or is only just the one on the left?
I don't know. You guys, what say you?
I'll check the ones on the MOAB and see what we have.
Fernandez?
Morning, Your Honor.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I apologize. Mr. Sarmiento?
with an S?
Yes, yes.
Sarmiento, coming up.
One is that name?
I have it listed here as Sarmiento. Is that right? Or is it Sarmiento?
Sarmiento.
Sarmiento?
Sarmiento.
Sarmiento, correcto.
S-A-R-A?
S-R,
Yes.
S-A-R-M-I-N-T-O. Sarmiento.
Okay, all right. Sir, you were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On December 13th, 2024, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed without a front license plate. A traffic stop was initiated, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The officer observed the firearm in the passenger side door, and the officer asked the defendant to step out. The officer observed a firearm in the driver's side door, and both firearms were unholstered. The officer asked the defendant for consent to search the vehicle, and the defendant agreed. The officer searched the vehicle within hand's reach of the defendant, and the officer observed a Ziploc bag in the glove compartment with a $20 bill and what appeared to be small baggies with a white powdery substance inside, believed to be cocaine based on training experience. The weight was 3.77 grams.
Okay, sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons. Do not pick up any new cases. Otherwise, I'm going to put you in jail. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you go to jail and you spend any kind of time there, immigration, and you're not here with proper documentation, immigration will put a detainer on you. You will be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with and then shipped off to immigration. So beware what you do. I don't know what your status is, but if you're not here with permission, be good. You have a lawyer because you have one that will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. You pick up a new case, you endanger my community. It's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? We will have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then after that, you'll be free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Can you file that, please? No weapons.
Yes, Judge.
Judge Marcos
Don't worry about it. That's,
on
Paredes,
So,
Paredes, Paredos.
page 23.
Paredes. 7794.
oh, one more thing.
Yes, Judge.
Did you see if he has a license? He was driving
Your
it
Honor. Yes.
on Sarmiento?
Sarmiento, yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, this is his. Okay.
Counsel, your client, but
Good morning, Mr. Paredes. You were charged with tampering with the government record with intent to make it genuine? Is that right?
I'm sorry. Say it one more time, Judge. I missed what you said.
You're charged with tampering with the government record. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On January 16th, 2025, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle with a paper license plate on North Freeway, East Service Road. The officer ran the license plate, and the license plate came back with no record. The officer observed the license plate was a copy and did not have required security features. A traffic stop was initiated, and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle. The defendant stated he received the license plate from the person who sold him the truck, that he receives a new license plate whenever he makes payments, and that he thought that was legal. The defendant stated he did not have insurance on the vehicle, and the officer ran the VIN and discovered the motor vehicle to be salvaged. The officer also found the vehicle has never been registered and had never had a state inspection. The defendant provided a dealer tag receipt for the license plate, listing him as a purchaser.
So he tried to purchase in good faith, Judge. He just, I don't see how there's any criminal intent.
But he's making payments and he gets a new license plate every time he gets a payment.
That's what the officer says he was saying.
Well, right, but I mean,
Right.
I see what you're saying because he's charged with tampering, right? To tamper, you must, I know, let's pull the code.
Right.
Because I mean, do you have to make a willing,
But you negligently or recklessly.
an alteration, so to speak, you know? Let's see.
It makes a false entry in the false alteration of a government record.
A person commits, if he knowingly makes a false entry in or false alteration of a government record, makes, presents, or uses any record, document, or thing with knowledge of its falsity with intent that it be taken as a genuine government record.
Your Honor,
I think that is what they're probably relying on in this case.
if I may, as the information alleges, it's subsection 6 where it possesses a governmental record with knowledge that it was obtained unlawfully. So,
Well, he doesn't know who's obtained unlawfully, even from.
Well, hold on. That's your burden,
yes,
right?
Judge, and in this case, we would show that reasonable certainty by his obtaining it every time he makes a new purchase and obtaining it from the person who obtained the vehicle rather than from the government. So it would be through that.
When I go buy a new car, though, they give me a tag. You know what I mean? So at some point, yes, you're supposed to get like a license plate from, I guess, a state, from the state authority, right? They give you the license plate, but here,
They give you the paper plate, and you assume that they're going to do all the paperwork behind the scenes. They send it to the government, to the state agency. Then the state agency sends you the metal plates.
if this had been like maybe a month or two that he had purchased it, perhaps. But if we're talking that he's had this car for like a year, then I don't think that's reasonable. I don't think that's a reasonable argument to make. So,
And I don't know how long.
and this car purchase,
Let me see, Your Honor. So the only thing in regard to the status of the vehicle is the officer only found that it was a salvaged vehicle, and he lists a date of loss as May 29th, 2020. So I don't know if that's when the defendant obtained it or that's just. when
No,
it was
that's just
salvaged.
when it was salvaged at
Yeah,
that
so
time.
that's
So
the
at that
only-
point, you can't even drive the car because it's salvaged, right?
Right, and
It's a
that's
salvage
the
title,
only
but
date that the officer provides. So, so with the information we
you have a
have,
copy of the tag?
let me see. So the buyer's tag lists an expiration date of February 5th, 2025 and lists the vehicle of the 2007 Chevrolet and it doesn't
Is
list.
this, it should say like a date of purchase, right? Why don't we do this? Look,
So it says it expires February 5th, and this happened on January 16th, and I just asked him when he bought it, he said it was about a month and a half ago, and I said, how many
let's do this. Show me. Let me give you more time. Let me just do a little bit more diligence.
Okay.
All right. We'll come back, but let me burn through all this because I didn't think it was going to take this much time, but we'll revisit it. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Don't worry.
Page 20, Longo.
Given arraignment? Come on. Hey, how are you, Mr. Nunez?
Montalvo, David Montalvo. He's got 2 cases on the docket.
So these are really, really old cases, huh?
You're super old, Judge. She had one attorney, I think it was during the pandemic, that we subbed in on, and then the other case as well, Your Honor. And it was a mix of a lot of things financially and on why he was kind of MIA.
Did you represent him before?
We were on the case, we just never got off. We were on the assault case.
Are you wanting to stay on or do you want to get off?
We're gonna stay on, Judge.
Okay.
You guess in a way rehired.
So, Mr. Montalongo, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with terroristic threat. Both of those, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. I'm going to tell you now, you take off on me again, I'm going to make your bond so high you'll have hair falling out. Do you understand? As it stands now, your case is 1,289 days old on one, and another 2 years old as well. I'm assuming probable cause has been found already?
I would like to take up probable cause, Your Honor, on the terroristic threat one, if we can.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Yes, Judge. On February 28th, 2023, the officer responded to a terroristic threat and the complainant stated she is the sister of the defendant and that prior to the day of the call, the defendant had been sending her threatening messages to her phone. The defendant sent a text saying, "I hope you take a punch to the fucking face. I'm gonna break your fucking face with my fist, bitch. I want to hear your bones break." The complainant stated the defendant has been verbally abusing her and has a history of assaulting their father.
I believe the key element they're missing in this probable cause for the terroristic threat is the imminency. There's nothing showing that this is imminent, it's about to happen, or is going to happen, or some future event.
I mean, I'm going to.
I'm going to, it can be very vague, Your Honor. We don't know how long that's going to be. If it's like, hey, I'm coming over right now, or if he said that in person. I think the case law is pretty clear on the imminency on that. For example, like,
You're telling me there's case law that says I'm going to is not sufficient?
I have to look at the specific words of I'm going to, but it references a future event. So if it's in reference to a future event, it's not imminent, therefore it doesn't meet the requirement.
State response?
So what we have is that they had an argument the previous night and that the morning of the incident, that's when he sent the text saying, "I'm gonna break your face with my fist." So that would go towards, it doesn't really address the imminent issue, but it does address a future threat.
Montalongo.
Your Honor, I would agree with where you were going, the I'm going to, and just the overall tone of the message is implying imminent and will put a reasonable person in fear.
I think so as well. Mr. Montalongo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.